Hey guys, it's Mikexingchen. You know, Hollywood is not in short supply of science fiction movies and TV shows involving questionable government organizations conducting unethical experiments or handling top secret missions. And in the abundant and growing collection of audio-visual work in the sci-fi genre, there are a good number of compelling flicks that explore fringe and pseudoscientific topics like teleportation and time travel. For example, in the 1984 film classic The Philadelphia Experiment, a government experiment ended up transporting two sailors from a ship in a harbor in Philadelphia in the year 1943 to the Nevada desert in 1984. And in the 1995 neo-noir sci-fi movie 12 Monkeys, a prisoner from 2035 is sent back to the past to prevent the release of a deadly virus that erased most of mankind's population. And one of my favorites is probably Fox's TV series Fringe, where FBI agents get caught up in a strange world where parallel universes and alternate timelines were possible. Now, of course, many people consider these just movies and TV shows, but one can't help but wonder if there's any semblance of truth in them at all. Was our government ever involved in grand undertakings that experimented on the possibility of teleporting human beings to a distant place and perhaps even transporting them to a different time? And some people will say yes to this question, either because they simply believe it is possible or because they claim to be personally involved in something like this. One example of this is the strange and unverified case of Andrew D. Basiago, whose purported participation in a top-secret government experiment program he referred to as Project Pegasus will be the topic of this video. And this has been one of the most requested video topics I've received so far, so let's talk about it. First of all, who is Andrew D. Basiago? Once upon a time, Andrew was nothing more than a Washington lawyer with a respected reputation. But beginning in 2004, this supposedly highly esteemed image of his was called by some into question when he started to openly and publicly claim that as a child, he was part of a top-secret program of the United States government under the banner of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, called Project Pegasus. So now you might be wondering, okay, if this is true, what exactly did a 7-year-old kid do for the next 5 years as a participant of Project Pegasus? Well, Basiago claims that between 1968 and 1972, a time when the United States was fixated on the space race, he was a part of several experiments that allegedly teleported children through space and time. In a 2012 interview with the Huffington Post, Basiago explained that the reason the kids were used as subjects of Project Pegasus was to determine the mental and physical effects of time jumping on children. He also revealed that children were better able in adjusting to the strings of moving forward and backwards through time. As for how teleportation and time travel was made possible, Basiago credits a teleporter technology purportedly developed by Nikola Tesla, a legendary pioneer in mechanical engineering prior to his death in 1943. And bending the time-space continuum is supposedly achieved by harnessing what Tesla called radiant energy. And a curtain of this latent and pervasive energy in the universe is accessible through a machine made up of two gray elliptical booms measuring around 8 feet tall and were built 10 feet apart. When participants of Project Pegasus entered the radiant energy field, they found themselves inside a vortex-like tunnel before they reached their destination. And during his stint in the program, Basiago alleges that he went back in time to attend Abraham Lincoln's historical Gettysburg Address in the latter half of the 19th century. And according to Basiago, he can even be spotted in a photograph captured during the event. He also claims that he transported multiple times to Ford's Theater on the night of Lincoln's assassination. And because he was teleported to Ford's Theater in 1865 at several starting points in his presence, he even encountered versions of himself during his visits, which led him to conclude that while the technology used for Project Pegasus had real-life uses as a teleportation machine, there would be chaotic consequences if the government decided to frequently use it for time travel. He also believed that what they accomplished in the program did not just involve bending time and space, since they also Back to the Future themselves and somehow accessed alternate realities on adjacent timelines. Now here's where it got really peculiar. Aside from his alleged involvement with DARPA and Project Pegasus, Basiago also regards himself as a discoverer of life on Mars. He claims that during the 1980s, he was teleported to Mars as one of the ambassadors of Earth that made contact with the existing civilization of our neighbor planet. And at some point during his Mars mission, he encountered a dinosaur, particularly a Martian plesiosaur. And as if dinosaurs on Mars don't sound sensational enough, Basiago also revealed that among those who got to teleport to planet Mars just like him in the 1980s was President Barack Obama himself. Obama supposedly went by a different name during the Mars teleportation program, and this name was Barry Satoral, which researchers claim Obama actually used for his college transcripts when he attended Occidental College in Los Angeles. Basiago's dedication to disclose the truth about the US government's secret activities involving teleportation and time travel technologies is so relentless that he announced his intention to launch a US presidential campaign in 2016. His platform largely focuses on the disclosure of classified information about advanced technologies, time travel, extraterrestrial existence, and secret space programs. But of course, his attempt at getting elected as the new president failed. However, it looks like Basiago is already making plans to run for president one more time at the 2020 elections if his official website, andy2020.net, is any indication. And if successful, he hopes to usher in a new era of truth, reform, and innovation for the American people. Now, of course, many have dismissed Basiago's strange claims as nothing more than the fantastical ramblings of an eccentric man with a deranged mind. Others have looked beyond the bizarreness of his allegations and actually attempted to spot the little grains of truth in the unbelievable things that he says, especially since he is not the only supposedly whistleblower that made similar claims. And of course, I'm not really big on conspiracy theories. I don't do a lot of conspiracy theory videos on this channel because some of the claims are just so outrageous, just like this one. I mean, do I believe that Barack Obama is a time traveler? And do I think that there are dinosaurs on Mars? Probably not. But do I think that governments are keeping secrets and information from us about extraterrestrials, about secret weapons and technology? And do I believe that time travel is possible? Absolutely. But after I got so many requests about doing this video, I looked into it and I thought, if anything, this was really interesting. Do you believe at all what Andrew Basiago is saying here? Now, there have been a lot of claims about the government doing secret projects that involves astral projection, that even involved psychic powers. And I feel like those claims are fairly credible because ex-military personnel are coming out and talking about them. But I really just don't know about this whole going to Mars and seeing a dinosaur thing. But of course, that's just my own opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.